The feelings I experienced when my eldest son's wife suddenly demanded we live apart were indescribable. It was as if the ground beneath me had shifted, leaving me bewildered and hurt. These words echoed those painful moments when, as a young adult, I had to bid farewell to my childhood home and parents. Now, facing the prospect of eviction from my current abode, frustration and resentment surged within me. With a heavy heart, I resolved to pack my belongings and depart. This decision marked the culmination of mounting tensions, especially with my daughter-in-law, whose strong personality often clashed with mine. From the onset, our relationship had been strained. I vividly recall the day she appeared in a casual tracksuit, claiming it was to show her true self. While I admired her authenticity, her choice of attire seemed inappropriate for such a significant occasion. Despite my reservations, I chose to respect my son's choice in marriage. However, as time passed, my concerns grew, exacerbated by Elsa's confrontational nature and, at times, perplexing behavior. It became apparent that her allure had captivated my son, blinding him to potential challenges in their relationship. As I reflect on my life, I am grateful for the financial security provided by my late husband's insurance. Yet, amidst this comfort, worries persist, primarily concerning my strained relationship with Elsa. Despite my best efforts to maintain harmony, tensions persist, threatening the tranquility of our shared home. Now, as I navigate this unexpected turn of events, I am reminded of the importance of resilience and adaptability. Though the road ahead may be uncertain, I am determined to face it with courage and grace, striving to preserve the bonds of family amidst life's trials and tribulations. Initially, I had anticipated resistance from Elsa regarding our decision to live together. However, to my surprise, she was in agreement with the idea. However, it soon became evident that her support came with certain expectations. Despite being a full-time homemaker, Elsa delegated all household chores to me. Cleaning, laundry, meal preparation. These tasks fell solely on my shoulders, despite my own remote work commitments. Moreover, Elsa's attitude towards my work was dismissive. While I diligently attended to my responsibilities, she often made comments belittling my efforts, insinuating that my work was merely a pastime. Initially, I brushed off her remarks, unwilling to engage in confrontation. However, her persistent belittlement began to wear on me, sowing seeds of resentment. In an attempt to address the unequal distribution of household responsibilities, I mustered the courage to ask Elsa for assistance. Her reaction was unexpected and hurtful. With disdain evident on her face, she dismissed my request, claiming that her refusal to participate in household chores was actually for my benefit. According to her, engaging in such activities would deprive me of necessary physical and mental stimulation, ultimately compromising my health. Her reasoning, though illogical, left me speechless. I had agreed to live together under the assumption that we would share the burdens equally, yet Elsa's refusal to contribute only added to my frustration and disappointment. Feeling overwhelmed by the situation, I reached a breaking point and decided to confide in my eldest son. My decision to express my concerns was not to vilify Elsa, but rather to seek a solution that would alleviate the strain on our relationship. After discussing the challenges of living in our current home, I made the difficult choice to move to a more suitable apartment. Despite initial misgivings, I found solace in the prospect of a space tailored to my needs and preferences. However, my newfound sense of peace was short-lived. Elsa's persistent presence in my new abode, coupled with her audacious suggestion that I return to the old house to resume household chores, left me feeling disheartened and frustrated. It became increasingly apparent that her self-centeredness knew no bounds, leaving me feeling utterly exhausted and unsupported. In light of these circumstances, I am left grappling with conflicting emotions. While I do not regret my decision to prioritize my well-being, I cannot help but feel a sense of loss and disappointment in the strained dynamics of our family. As I navigate this tumultuous chapter of my life, I am reminded of the importance of setting boundaries and advocating for my own needs, even in the face of resistance. Despite my efforts to reassure Elsa that I am managing well, her concern for my well-being remains unwavering. However, her actions often contradict her words, as she continues to intrude into my personal space without invitation or regard for boundaries. Recently, I returned home from an outing to find Elsa lounging in my apartment as if it were her own. Her casual disregard for my privacy left me feeling uneasy and unsettled, prompting me to assertively address the situation for the first time. Expressing my discomfort, I reminded Elsa of the intended purpose of the spare key, emphasizing that it should only be used in emergencies. This confrontation, though uncharacteristic of our usual interactions, was necessary to convey the importance of respecting personal boundaries. However, Elsa's response was far from apologetic. Instead, she lashed out, labeling me as a stingy mother-in-law and insisting that I vacate the premises, asserting her belief that the apartment should be occupied by her family instead. Despite her hostility, I remained resolute in my decision to leave, determined to uphold my dignity and independence. Within 3 days, I fulfilled my promise and relocated to a senior-friendly apartment. However, my departure did not mark the end of our discord. Instead, it seemed to exacerbate tensions within my son's marriage, with him expressing his displeasure at Elsa's actions and contemplating drastic measures. In the aftermath of my departure, I took steps to ensure that my new living arrangements met my needs. Through negotiations with the landlord, I secured alterations to the lease agreement, granting me peace of mind and stability in my new home. Meanwhile, my son's frustration with Elsa's behavior continues to simmer, raising questions about the future of their relationship. Despite the challenges I have faced, I remain hopeful for the future, determined to embrace this new chapter of my life with optimism and resilience. As I navigate the complexities of family dynamics and interpersonal relationships, I am reminded of the importance of advocating for oneself and prioritizing personal well-being above all else. Elsa's audacious declaration of living separately in my apartment left me astounded by her brazenness. However, I had anticipated her reaction and prepared accordingly. As expected, her demeanor shifted drastically when confronted with the reality of her financial obligations. During a remote work session, my phone incessantly rang, with Elsa on the other end in a state of agitation regarding the apartment's rent. With a recorder at hand, I calmly engaged in the conversation, deliberately provoking her with my composed demeanor. Despite her protests, I maintained my composure, revealing the truth behind the rent payments. In reality, I had been silently supporting my son financially, shouldering the burden of the rent to alleviate his struggles caused by Elsa's reckless spending habits. My revelation left Elsa stunned, realizing that her assumptions about the rent arrangement were unfounded. Upon sharing the recorded conversation with my eldest son, he expressed his exhaustion with Elsa's behavior and his readiness to end their marriage. Understanding his predicament, I devised a plan to facilitate his departure discreetly, ensuring minimal disruption. With meticulous planning, my son discreetly relocated his belongings over several nights, avoiding Elsa's notice. Meanwhile, I secured a new dwelling, a single-family home where he could start afresh away from Elsa's influence. As our plan unfolded, Elsa's frantic call 3 days later signaled her growing unease and desperation. It was evident that our actions had rattled her, prompting her to confront the reality of her situation. However, by then, our preparations were already underway, marking the beginning of a new chapter for my son, free from the turmoil of his failed marriage. As Elsa frantically relayed the events unfolding, her panic was palpable. However, I maintained my composure, addressing her concerns with a deliberate calmness. It was clear that my son had followed through with our plan, orchestrating his departure and leaving Elsa to face the consequences of her actions alone. With a mix of satisfaction and resignation, I corrected Elsa's misconception, emphasizing that our familial ties had been severed with the submission of divorce papers. This decisive action, long overdue, marked the end of a tumultuous chapter in my son's life, freeing him from Elsa's manipulative grasp. Despite my son's initial hopes for reconciliation, he had come to terms with the reality of his situation, recognizing the toxicity of his marriage. His decision to proceed with the divorce signaled a newfound clarity and resolve, breaking free from Elsa's cycle of threats and coercion. As Elsa grappled with the implications of the divorce, her frustration and anger were palpable. Yet, her attempts to shift blame and assert control were met with a calm rebuttal, rooted in the truth of her actions and their consequences. Moreover, I reminded Elsa of the financial implications of divorce, highlighting the challenges she would face without my son's financial support. Her reliance on the inheritance left by my late husband only underscored her dependence, further exposing the fragility of her situation. Throughout our conversation, I remained steadfast, documenting Elsa's outbursts as evidence for any future legal proceedings. It was clear that her anger and resentment were directed not only at me, but also at the unraveling of her carefully constructed facade. As our call concluded, I couldn't help but feel a sense of relief mixed with apprehension for what lay ahead. While my son had taken a crucial step towards liberation, the road to healing would undoubtedly be fraught with challenges. Yet, in facing the truth and confronting Elsa's manipulation, we had taken the first steps towards reclaiming our autonomy and rebuilding our lives anew. As Elsa's tirade continued, I patiently endured her outburst, recognizing the desperation beneath her anger. Her pleas for help, tinged with remorse, revealed the consequences of her actions as she faced the repercussions of her reckless spending and borrowing habits. Despite a twinge of sympathy, I remained firm, acknowledging that her current situation was a result of her own choices. With a final farewell, I severed ties with Elsa, recognizing that our paths had diverged irreversibly. Yet, the aftermath of our call revealed the extent of Elsa's turmoil as she resorted to desperate measures, causing disturbances at my son's workplace and facing eviction from the apartment she had occupied unlawfully. Her attempts to reach out to us were futile, as we had changed our contact information and distanced ourselves from her tumultuous life. Left with no other recourse, Elsa found herself rejected by her own family, facing the harsh reality of her actions. As I settled into my new home, purchased with my late husband's inheritance, I found solace in the tranquility of my surroundings. The duplex layout offered both independence and the potential for future family gatherings. With financial security ensured, I looked ahead to the possibility of my son remarrying and the prospect of welcoming grandchildren into our lives. Embracing the serenity of my new beginning, I devoted myself to nurturing an English garden, fulfilling a long-held dream. In the quiet moments spent amidst the trees and herbs, I found solace and renewal, grateful for the opportunity to embark on this journey of self-discovery and hope. As I settled further into my new life, I found joy in the small details of everyday existence. The rhythmic routine of caring for my garden became a source of solace, each blossom and leaf a testament to resilience and growth. With each passing day, I reveled in the beauty of nature's cycle, finding comfort in the simplicity of tending to the earth. Yet, amidst the tranquility of my garden oasis, echoes of Elsa's downfall lingered in my thoughts. I couldn't help but reflect on the fragility of human relationships and the consequences of our choices. Her tumultuous journey served as a sobering reminder of the importance of accountability and compassion in navigating life's challenges. As I nurtured my garden, I also nurtured the bonds with my son, cherishing the moments we shared over dinner and the quiet conversations that bridged the gap between generations. Our relationship had evolved, finding a delicate balance between closeness and autonomy, allowing us to support each other while respecting individual paths. In the midst of this newfound tranquility, I couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the opportunities that lay ahead. The legacy of my late husband's inheritance served as a beacon of hope, a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. With each passing day, I felt a renewed sense of purpose, driven by the desire to create a legacy of love and generosity for future generations. As I looked towards the future, I envisioned a life filled with possibilities, guided by the values of compassion, integrity, and resilience. My English garden, with its vibrant colors and fragrant blooms, served as a testament to the beauty that could emerge from even the most challenging circumstances. And as I tended to its delicate blossoms, I couldn't help but feel a sense of peace wash over me, knowing that no matter what trials lay ahead, I had the strength and resilience to face them with grace and dignity. In the tranquil embrace of my garden sanctuary, I found myself drawn deeper into the tapestry of life's intricate beauty. Each day brought new discoveries, as the sun cast its golden rays upon the verdant foliage, illuminating the hidden wonders nestled within the earth. Amidst the gentle rustle of leaves and the melodious chirping of birds, I found solace in the timeless rhythm of nature's symphony. As I tended to the flourishing blooms and tender shoots, I marveled at the resilience of life, its ability to thrive in the face of adversity. Each blossom held a story of growth and transformation, a testament to the power of perseverance and determination. In the delicate petals of a rosebud and the sturdy branches of an oak tree, I saw reflections of my own journey, marked by moments of triumph and tribulation. Yet, amidst the serenity of my garden retreat, memories of Elsa's tumultuous descent lingered like shadows in the twilight. Her journey, fraught with missteps and regrets, served as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragility of human relationships and the consequences of our actions. And yet, even in her darkest hour, I couldn't help but feel a twinge of compassion for her plight, a recognition of the shared humanity that bound us together. As I reflected on Elsa's struggles, I couldn't help but wonder about the paths not taken, the choices left unmade. What if she had chosen a different course, one guided by empathy and understanding? Could her story have unfolded differently, leading her towards a brighter future filled with hope and redemption? In the quiet moments spent amidst the blossoms and buds, I found myself contemplating the mysteries of life and the intricate web of connections that bind us all together. Each flower, with its unique fragrance and hue, spoke to the inherent beauty of diversity and the richness of human experience. And as I traced the delicate veins of a leaf or breathed in the sweet perfume of a blooming rose, I felt a profound sense of gratitude for the gift of life and the opportunity to be a steward of its wonders. As the seasons turned and the garden flourished, I found myself embracing the ebb and flow of life's ever-changing tide. Each sunrise brought new promise, each sunset a moment of reflection and renewal. And amidst the lush greenery and vibrant blooms, I found peace, knowing that no matter what trials lay ahead, I would always find solace in the timeless embrace of nature's embrace. In the tranquil embrace of my garden sanctuary, time seemed to slow, allowing me to savor each moment and find meaning in the simplest of pleasures. With each passing day, I discovered new layers of beauty hidden within the folds of nature's tapestry, from the delicate unfurling of a fern frond to the intoxicating scent of jasmine blossoms perfuming the air. As I immersed myself in the rhythms of the natural world, I found a sense of harmony and balance that eluded me amidst the chaos of daily life. The gentle caress of the breeze and the rhythmic hum of buzzing bees became my companions, guiding me towards a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all living things. In the sanctuary of my garden, I found refuge from the tumult of the outside world, a sacred space where I could retreat and recharge amidst the ever-changing landscape. Each flower bed and winding pathway became a portal to a realm of possibility, inviting me to explore and discover the wonders that lay hidden just beyond the surface. As the seasons danced and the garden transformed, I found myself drawn deeper into its embrace, learning to listen to the whispers of the wind and the secrets whispered by the leaves. In the delicate balance of light and shadow, I found solace, knowing that even in the darkest of times, there was always a glimmer of hope waiting to be discovered. In the quiet moments spent amidst the blossoms and buds, I found myself reflecting on the cyclical nature of life, where endings were merely beginnings in disguise. Each fallen leaf and fading bloom reminded me of the inevitability of change, and yet, amidst the transience, there was a beauty that transcended time and space. As I tended to the needs of my garden, I found myself tending to the needs of my soul, nurturing a sense of peace and contentment that had long eluded me. In the gentle rhythm of planting and pruning, I discovered a sense of purpose and fulfillment that brought meaning to each passing day. And as I watched the garden flourish under my care, I couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the gift of life and the opportunity to be a steward of its wonders. In the delicate dance of petals and the symphony of birdsong, I found solace, knowing that no matter what trials lay ahead, I would always find sanctuary amidst the beauty of my garden.